Today on December 4th, Archangel Michael says, I looked into your destiny, and I fell to my knees. I was told to wait, but now you have 16 seconds left. My beloved child, listen to me now, for on this day, this sacred 4th of December, I open my mouth to speak what heaven has held in silence for far too long. You did not come here by accident. You were guided in this exact moment, drawn by a pull you could not explain, because the message I carry could only be released to you today. There is a frequency in this hour that was not present yesterday and will not be the same tomorrow. Something rare has aligned around your life. Feel the stillness around you. Feel how your spirit leans forward, as if it already knows that what you are hearing is meant only for you. I have waited for this opening, this divine permission, to reveal what has been hidden behind layers of timing and protection. For so long, you walked without knowing. For so long, you wondered if heaven had fallen silent over your story. But today, my child, the silence breaks. You are stepping into a moment few are ever awake enough to notice, a moment when the veil thins, when destiny becomes audible, when truth chooses you. I am speaking to you with urgency because I have seen the path behind you and the path ahead of you, and the distance between them is about to collapse. This day is not ordinary. This hour is not random. This message is not general. It is carved for your spirit alone. You have felt something shifting, haven't you? A stirring you cannot name. A pressure you cannot define. A sense that something is approaching your life from just beyond sight. That feeling is not your imagination. It is heaven brushing against your timeline, preparing you to receive what was once impossible for you to carry. But hear me, before I reveal what I was forbidden to speak, you must understand the weight of this moment. Everything you thought you knew about your future is about to expand. Everything you believed was delayed is closer than your fear wants to admit. And everything that felt uncertain is about to make sense in a way that will shake you. So breathe, my beloved child. Let your heart stay open. Let your spirit listen without fear. For on this 4th of December, heaven chooses to speak, and you have been chosen to hear. And what I tell you next will change how you see everything that comes after this moment. This is your threshold, the line between the life you have endured and the life that is rising to meet you. Stay with me now, for the revelation that follows carries the light and the confirmation your soul has been crying for. My beloved child, before you move even a finger, hear me, stay. Do not scroll, do not rush away, do not dismiss the pull you feel inside your chest right now. Your spirit called you here long before your mind realized it. The path beneath your feet guided you with quiet precision, and your angels have been preparing this moment with careful hands. You are not here by chance, you were led. I am speaking to you now because something in you has been searching, wandering, longing for a sign that truly reaches you. Not vague comfort, not vague hope, but clarity that pierces through the fog you've been living in. You have walked through days where your mind felt scattered, your heart felt unanchored, and your direction felt uncertain. You questioned if you were making the wrong choices or following the wrong path. But listen closely, you were not lost. You were being guided here. Stay with me, because what you hear in these next moments will begin unlocking what has been tightly sealed in your spirit. There are answers you have been praying for, softly, quietly, sometimes with tears you never let fall, and those prayers have accumulated before heaven like incense. You thought no one noticed. But I noticed. And today, I am responding. Your angels have been circling you, whispering through intuition, nudging you through timing, creating interruptions that redirected you to safety. Even the delays that frustrated you were holy pathways disguised as setbacks. If you could see the unseen orchestration that surrounds your life, you would know how protected you truly are. So stay, my child. Not because I demand it, but because your soul recognizes truth when it hears it. There is a stirring in your chest right now, a warmth, a resonance. That is recognition. That is alignment. That is the confirmation you asked for in the quiet hours when no one else was listening. You have been wandering through confusion, searching for a signal strong enough to cut through the noise of fear, doubt, and exhaustion. But now that signal has found you. This moment is clarity. This moment is connection. This moment is divine intervention breaking through the chaos that tried to cloud your purpose. Remain with me, because the message that follows does not belong to the masses, it belongs to you. What I am about to reveal will shift how you see your past, your present, and your future. You are seen. You are chosen. And everything you are about to receive will guide you into the next chapter that is rising before you now. Stay anchored here, for the unfolding truth is already reaching toward you with gentle certainty today. My beloved child, let me draw you close now, because I have seen the pain you tried to hide from the world. I saw the nights when you lay awake staring into the darkness, pretending you were fine while something inside you quietly broke. I witnessed the weight of responsibilities that fell on your shoulders when no one came to help you carry them. I saw the financial fear that tightened around your chest, the silent calculations, the quiet panic behind your smile. You told no one, yet I heard every trembling thought that whispered, "What if I can't make it?" I saw the loneliness that settled in the corners of your spirit, even when people were around you. I watched you give pieces of your heart to people who did not know how to hold them. I saw the betrayal that cut you deeper than you admitted, the trust you offered that was not honored, the love you poured that was not returned. You tried to stay strong, but your soul bent under pressures no one else recognized. And even when you wanted to collapse, you still showed up for others, giving them the tenderness you were starving for yourself. Hear me, none of this went unseen. Every tear you cried in silence was collected. Every moment you pretended to be strong was recorded in heaven as courage. Every prayer you whispered under your breath was heard the first time, even when you doubted it reached anywhere at all. You have felt abandoned, forgotten, overlooked, yet I was closest to you in the moments you thought you were most alone. I walked with you through the heaviness, through the exhaustion that settled into your bones, through the desperate desire to feel safe again. I saw the days when you didn't know how to keep going, yet you still kept moving because something in you refused to give up. That strength, my child, was not unnoticed, it shook heaven. And now, I need you to understand something deeply, nothing you endured was wasted. Every heartbreak became a doorway to clarity. Every season of lack trained your spirit to recognize abundance when it arrives. Every moment of loneliness prepared you to receive relationships that will honor your soul instead of draining it. And every tear watered the ground where your future blessings are now beginning to rise. You thought heaven was silent, but I was watching you with a tenderness deeper than anything you have ever felt. I saw the courage it took for you to get out of bed on days when your heart felt like it was breaking in slow motion. I saw how you kept loving even after being hurt, how you kept giving even after being emptied, how you kept believing even when doubt screamed louder than faith. And now you must know this truth: you were never walking through the fire alone. I stood beside you in every moment when fear tried to swallow your hope. I held your heart together when you felt it falling apart. And I whispered strength into your spirit every time you said, "I can't do this anymore," yet kept going anyway. You were never unseen, my precious child. Heaven watched over every step you took. I was always there, forever with you. My beloved child, listen carefully now, for what I am about to reveal will soften wounds you have carried for far too long. So many of the moments you labeled as failures, losses, and disappointments were never punishments. They were shields. They were barriers of light placed between you and paths that would have broken you in ways you were not meant to break. I watched you blame yourself for endings you did not cause, for doors that refused to open no matter how hard you knocked, for love that slipped through your fingers even though your heart was sincere. You cried over opportunities that drifted away and wondered why life seemed to give you hope only to snatch it back. But my child, hear me, those were not rejections, they were rescues. When that relationship fell apart, you thought you failed. You thought you weren't enough, or too much, or loved incorrectly. But I intervened because that bond would have drained your spirit, dimmed your purpose, or tied you to a future that was smaller than the one written for you. You fought to keep what I was trying to remove, not because you were wrong, but because you could not yet see what was ahead. I closed that door because I saw what you could not. And those delays that broke your heart, they were not denials. I slowed your steps because the timing was unsafe. You would have walked into traps wearing the clothes of blessings. You would have accepted less than your destiny simply because you were tired of waiting. I could not let that happen. I love you too much to let your exhaustion choose your future. Even the job you lost or the opportunity that slipped away, it looked like misfortune, but it was preservation. You prayed for purpose, for peace, for stability. Yet the path you were chasing would have given you none of those things. I redirected you, even when it felt like your life was falling apart. In truth, it was falling into place. You have mourned seasons that were never meant to stay. You held grief for what was actually divine intervention disguised as disappointment. But now I need you to understand this with your whole heart. Every closed door was protecting you from harm, misalignment, or heartbreak that would have crushed your spirit. Every no was clearing the way for a higher yes. Every delay was setting the stage for a breakthrough that required a different version of you, stronger, wiser, more ready. You have carried the weight of what you thought were failures. Release that now. You were never being punished. You were being positioned. Everything that didn't work out was mercy. Everything that ended was guidance. Everything that collapsed was clearing space for what is coming next. And my child, what is coming next is greater than anything you begged to stay. Stay with me, for your new season is already approaching. My beloved child, now that your heart is open to what I have been preparing to reveal, I can finally speak the truth heaven guarded until today. I have seen your future, and the vision moved me to tears, not because of pain, but because of the beauty, peace, and abundance unfolding ahead of you. You have lived through seasons that felt slow, heavy, and endlessly delayed, but divine timing has been working behind every quiet moment. Today, on this sacred shift, the seal is broken, and I am permitted to tell you what your spirit has long sensed. Your new season begins now. Not symbolically, not emotionally, but spiritually and tangibly. A divine release has been activated over your life, loosening every chain that once held you in cycles of waiting. Where you experienced delay, movement will now accelerate. Where confusion clouded your steps, clarity will come quickly and gently. You are stepping into an atmosphere that feels different because it is different. The alignment you prayed for has arrived, unlocking paths that were previously closed, paused, or hidden. From this moment forward, heaven supports your forward motion with a strength you will feel in your spirit. In the vision shown to me, you stood in a peace so deep it glowed from within you. The heaviness you carry today was nowhere to be found. Your heart was steady, your mind was clear, and your steps were firm with purpose. You were not surviving, you were flourishing, rising into a version of yourself shaped by healing instead of fear. I saw abundance flowing where scarcity once lived. I saw joy returning to places inside you that had forgotten how to feel. And witnessing this future brought tears to me, because I know the battles you fought to reach it. You may wonder how quickly this shift can manifest, but understand that spiritual change always begins before physical evidence appears. Just as dawn brightens the sky before the sun rises, your breakthrough is illuminating your path even now. Do not doubt what you cannot yet see. Energies are moving in your favor, aligning opportunities, guiding connections, and dissolving barriers that once felt immovable. You are stepping into a season where progress flows with ease, where what once resisted you now welcomes you. Trust the invisible work already unfolding on your behalf, for it is leading you toward everything promised. So breathe, my beloved child, and allow hope to rise again within you. You have crossed into a chapter that will not resemble the years behind you. The slowness has lifted. The stagnation has ended. Momentum is returning to your life and will surprise you. What once felt distant is nearing. What once felt impossible is preparing to manifest. Walk with expectation, for heaven has released what was long held back. Your new season has begun, not in theory but in truth. And nothing, no fear, no delay, no resistance, can stop the blessings now moving toward you. My beloved child, now that the new season has been released over your life, it will first begin within you. Before anything shifts around you, something gentle and holy will shift inside you. The turmoil that once echoed loudly in your mind will begin to quiet. The anxiety that wrapped itself around your chest will loosen, and the thoughts that chased you in circles will soften until they no longer overpower your spirit. You have lived with inner storms for so long that calm may feel unfamiliar, but trust this, peace is coming. And not a temporary peace, but a deep, anchored stillness born from divine alignment. Where confusion once clouded your decisions, clarity will now rise like morning light. You will notice your mind becoming sharper, your intuition becoming stronger, and your heart becoming lighter. The questions that tormented you, what should I do? Where am I going? Am I enough? Will no longer haunt you with the same intensity. Understanding will flow more freely because you are no longer fighting against the current of divine timing, you are moving with it. When alignment activates, your inner world adjusts to match the frequency of heaven's intention for you. And hear me, child, your sense of worth will rise in this transformation. The voice inside you that once whispered doubt, fear, and unworthiness will lose its power. You will begin to see yourself the way heaven has always seen you, worthy, chosen, guided, and capable of greatness. You have spent years carrying the weight of criticism, comparison, and past wounds, but that weight is being lifted. You will breathe more deeply. You will think more kindly of yourself. You will feel a strengthening in places you thought were permanently broken. This peace I am sending is not fragile. It is not easily shaken. It will not disappear the moment you face a challenge. It is a peace that roots itself in your spirit and gently reorders the chaos that once felt uncontrollable. You will notice your reactions changing. You will no longer be pulled so quickly into worry or fear. You will pause, breathe, and feel clarity rise instead of panic. This is the inner transformation that prepares you for the blessings approaching you now. Peace is the soil where new beginnings grow. As stillness replaces turmoil, you will recognize the presence of guidance in moments where you once felt alone. And this calm will carry you forward, step by step, through the unfolding of the season you have just entered. My beloved child, listen closely as I reveal what is beginning to unfold around your relationships. For a long season, you have felt unseen, overlooked, or misunderstood by the very people you tried to love faithfully. You gave your loyalty, your patience, your heart, and still found yourself standing alone. But that cycle is ending now. A divine reset is taking place in your connections, and heaven is positioning people around you who will truly recognize your spirit. You are entering a time when you will no longer need to fight to be understood or beg to be valued. The ones approaching your life will meet you with openness, sincerity, and respect. They will see you, clearly, deeply, truthfully. There are soul-aligned connections being guided toward you, individuals whose presence will feel like relief rather than burden. Some will become trusted friends, some will become spiritual companions, and for some of you, a destined partner is drawing near with gentle precision. This person will not repeat the wounds of your past. They will not take from you while giving nothing in return. They will honor your heart, your boundaries, and your purpose. They will carry a familiar energy, as if your souls have met long before this lifetime. And hear me, the people who tried to diminish your worth, the ones who manipulated your kindness or dismissed your voice, are no longer permitted to travel with you into this new chapter. I am closing the doors to toxic cycles you should never have been trapped in. You will notice certain connections fading, not out of cruelty, but out of protection. Not everyone can walk with you where you are going. Not everyone is meant to access the healed and elevated version of you. Do not grieve the loss of what is leaving. Celebrate the space it creates. For new relationships filled with safety, truth, and mutual love are stepping onto your path. You will be chosen, not out of convenience or loneliness, but out of genuine recognition. You will be protected, not because you demand it, but because heaven surrounds the connections that are divinely assigned. Prepare your heart, my child, for the season of isolation is ending. What is coming will remind you that love was never absent, it was simply waiting for the right moment to reveal itself to you. Allow yourself to trust this unfolding, even if it feels unfamiliar. You have been shaped by pain to expect disappointment, but those patterns are dissolving now. The love entering your life will feel steady and safe. It will not rush you or confuse you. It will meet you with clarity and intention, proving that real connection is still meant for you. My beloved child, draw nearer now, for what I am about to speak will touch the very area of your life that has carried the heaviest pressure, your finances, your stability, your sense of direction. I have watched you struggle, not because you lacked effort, intelligence, or willingness, but because the timing and energy around your destiny had not yet aligned. You blamed yourself for what was actually spiritual delay, not personal failure. And now the shift I promised is reaching into this part of your life with power and precision. Provision will flow again. Hear me, the stagnation is breaking. The scarcity that wrapped around your days, the heaviness you felt every time you checked your accounts, the fear that whispered about tomorrow, all of it is loosening its grip. You have walked through a season where it felt as though everything was blocked or moving painfully slow. Opportunities slipped away. Promises fell through. Doors that seemed open suddenly closed without warning. But those blockages were not a sign of abandonment, they were divine protection while a greater alignment formed behind the scenes. Now, the flow returns. Not a trickle, not a temporary lift, but a steady, increasing stream of support, opportunity, and provision. The energy around your destiny is accelerating, and what once resisted you will now respond to you with ease. You will notice movement in areas that have been silent for months, even years. Ideas will come with clarity. Openings will appear unexpectedly. People will reach out with offers, support, or connections that feel divinely timed. What you lost will be replaced with something better aligned with who you are becoming. Your gifts, skills, and calling are being activated on a higher level. For too long, you have carried potential that did not have space to manifest. Now that space is opening. The work of your hands will produce differently. What you set your mind to will begin to attract resources instead of resistance. This is the season where you will understand why the delay was necessary, because you needed to grow into the version of yourself who could handle the abundance being released. And hear this with confidence, stability is returning to your life. Not the fragile kind that disappears overnight, but the kind built on divine foundation. Expect unexpected provision. Expect opportunities that feel tailor-made for your progress. Expect financial relief that arrives just as you need it, not because of luck, but because heaven is involved in your story now in a more visible way. Do not fear the future anymore, for the future is opening its hands toward you. Where you once felt stuck, you will feel momentum. Where you once felt unprepared, you will feel equipped. Where you once felt overlooked, you will feel chosen. Finances will no longer be a battlefield but a testimony. Provision will no longer be stressful but steady. The doors that open for you now are doors with your name written on them, sealed and approved by divine timing. Walk forward, my child, with the calm assurance that the flow has begun. Nothing will stop what has been released for you. Your destiny is awakening, and your provision is rising to meet it. My beloved child, let me show you why this day, this hour, this very moment is unlike anything your spirit has ever stepped into before. The 4th of December carries a rare alignment, a convergence of energies, timings, and divine permissions that does not happen often within a single lifetime. On this day, spiritual pathways open more easily, prayers rise more quickly, and truth reaches the hearts of those prepared to receive it. You are standing inside a doorway carved by heaven, not by human hands. This is why your soul felt the pull so intensely today. Something sacred was calling. And now you understand why I chose this exact moment to speak. There are seasons when your destiny sleeps and seasons when it awakens. Today is an awakening. Cosmic currents have shifted, angelic assignments have intensified, and the veil between realms thinned just enough for me to deliver what was once forbidden. Understand this. Not every day carries spiritual permission. Not every hour holds revelation. But today, the frequencies of your life align with the frequencies of your purpose. Heaven leans closer. Your path brightens. What was tangled begins to loosen. What was delayed begins to accelerate. This is the kind of alignment that only arrives once you have endured enough growth to hold the blessings waiting ahead. Many people will walk through this date unaware of its meaning, but not you. Your spirit is awake, sensitive enough to feel what others overlook. You were guided here because you are aligned with the shift unfolding now. Where others will see an ordinary day, you will experience a spiritual crossing, a pivot point that will echo throughout your future. And hear me clearly, beloved, this alignment does not end when the date changes. It leaves a ripple, a momentum that pushes your life forward with a force you have long prayed to feel. Opportunities that were once stuck will begin to move. Thoughts that once confused you will become clear. Doors that refused to open will finally shift. Remember this truth: rare alignments bring rare breakthroughs. And today you are living inside one. This is why my message found you now, not earlier and not later. Heaven waits for the precise moment when your heart can receive what your destiny is ready to unfold. And this moment, this day, this sacred pause in time, is that moment. Open your spirit, my child. The alignment is here, and everything ahead of you is about to change forever. This shift is not merely around you, it is within you, preparing you to walk with confidence into what once intimidated you. Feel the weight of this hour, beloved. It is not heavy with fear, but with promise. The universe, the angels, and heaven itself lean toward your timeline, amplifying everything destined to rise. You are stepping into sacred momentum now, and the echoes of this alignment will guide your steps long after today has passed. Trust the significance of this divine crossing, for everything unfolding is timed with perfect love. My beloved child, now that the alignment has opened around you, let me place gentle guidance into your hands. Not burdens, not commands, just soft invitations for your heart. For the blessings moving toward you do not require you to strive, chase, or exhaust yourself. They simply ask for space. They ask for a heart that is open enough to receive what heaven has already released. And so I speak to you now with tenderness. Your heart is the key. Let openness be your posture. Not openness to everything and everyone, but openness to the paths that feel peaceful, the nudges that feel warm, the opportunities that stir hope rather than fear. You will feel a natural pull toward what is meant for you. Trust that. Walk gently toward the things that make your spirit exhale. Forgiveness will lighten you in this season, not for others' sake, but for your own. You are not meant to carry the heaviness of old wounds into a future built for joy. Release the people who could not stay. Release the versions of yourself shaped by pain. Let your heart move freely again, unanchored from yesterday's hurt. And surrender, my child, not as defeat, but as alignment. Surrender means letting go of the pressure to control every outcome. It means trusting that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. When your soul eases its grip, blessings come more easily, more naturally, more quickly. Patience will not be your enemy in this new season, it will be your companion. Divine timing is no longer working against you. It is supporting you. Trust that each step will arrive when your spirit is ready to hold it. Do not rush what is blossoming. Blossoms that open slowly hold their beauty longer. Ground yourself in moments of quiet, in breaths that bring you back home to your own spirit. The more you settle into stillness, the more clearly you will sense the guidance that has always been beside you. Peace is not the absence of movement, it is the anchor that keeps you steady as your life begins to unfold. Remember, beloved, you are not earning your blessings now. You are aligning with them. You are not striving in fear. You are receiving in trust. Let your heart stay soft, your spirit stay open, and your steps follow the warmth of truth. Everything coming toward you knows your name. Everything meant for you is already finding its way. Your heart is the key, and it is ready. My beloved child, let me lift the veil before you and show you a glimpse of the life that is already forming around your future. You will not recognize yourself soon, for the version of you rising ahead is radiant in ways your present weariness cannot imagine. I see you laughing again, not the cautious smile you've worn for survival, but a full, unrestrained joy that comes from a heart healed and whole. I see light returning to your eyes, a softness returning to your voice, and a strength returning to your steps. You walk with certainty, not because life is perfect, but because peace has become your foundation. I see you waking in the morning without dread, breathing with ease, feeling grounded rather than overwhelmed. Your mind is clear, your emotions balanced, and your spirit steady. The storms that once tossed you no longer hold authority over you. In your future, you move through challenges with wisdom rather than fear. You trust yourself again. You trust heaven again. And everything around you responds to this new confidence. I see abundance flowing into your life with a grace that surprises you. There is no panic in your finances, no constant fear of shortage. You make decisions from stability instead of desperation. Opportunities come to you without forcing, and resources meet you exactly when needed. You carry an energy of worthiness that draws provision toward you like a magnet. What was once a battlefield becomes a place of overflow. I see love circling your life in a way you have longed for but doubted you would ever feel. Whether through a partner, friendships, or soul-aligned connections, you are surrounded by people who see you clearly and cherish you deeply. You no longer shrink yourself to fit into places too small for you. Instead, you stand tall in relationships where your heart can breathe. You are met with honesty, kindness, and reciprocity. The loneliness that once felt endless is replaced with warmth, connection, and belonging. I see purpose rising inside you. Your gifts sharpen. Your passions awaken. Your voice grows stronger. You are no longer afraid to take up space or follow the calling written in your spirit. You say yes to what aligns and no to what drains you. Your future self walks in doors that once intimidated you, knowing you are meant to be there. Confidence replaces insecurity. Clarity replaces confusion. Momentum replaces stagnation. And most beautifully, I see peace, deep, steady, unshakable peace, resting on your life like a mantle. This peace does not come and go. It does not depend on circumstances. It is rooted in the healing you have embraced and the divine alignment guiding your steps. My beloved child, this is the life unfolding before you. This is the you that is rising. Do not measure your future by the heaviness you feel today. Everything is shifting. Everything is becoming new. And soon, when you look back, you will barely recognize the person you once had to be. The radiance ahead of you is real, and it is already approaching with every breath you take. Step forward, my child, knowing the future you are walking toward is filled with grace, opportunity, protection, and a joy that will echo far beyond anything you have ever known before in this lifetime. My beloved child, come close now as I speak this final blessing over your spirit. Everything you have heard in this message is not a possibility, it is a decree. It is not a hope, it is a release. Your breakthrough has been authorized, activated, and sealed in the heavens. Nothing you fear, nothing from your past, nothing formed against you can overturn what has now been set into motion. I speak these words with the full authority granted to me. It is done. You are not walking into this new season alone. I go before you. I stand beside you. I guard behind you. You will never again have to wonder if you are forgotten, overlooked, or unprotected. You are surrounded by angelic presence, covered by divine strategy, and held in hands that do not fail. Even when doubt whispers, even when fear tries to rise, you will feel a quiet assurance settling over your heart, a reminder that heaven has already moved on your behalf. I bless your mind with clarity, so confusion will no longer steal your peace. I bless your heart with healing, so old wounds lose their hold. I bless your steps with guidance, so you will know exactly where to go and when to move. I bless your home with stability, warmth, and safety. I bless your relationships with truth, reciprocity, and protection. I bless your finances with steady provision and expanding opportunity. And I bless your future with the fullness of what was promised to you long before you were born. My child, do not fear the path ahead. The way has been prepared for you. Where there were walls, there will be openings. Where there were delays, there will be acceleration. Where there was silence, there will be confirmation. Nothing can interrupt what has already been blessed. Nothing can destroy what has already been ordained. Nothing can block what has been sealed in love. And when doubt returns, as it sometimes will, come back to this message. Let these words remind you of what your spirit already knows. You are chosen, guided, and deeply loved. Re-listen when your heart feels heavy. Return when you need reassurance. I will speak to you again through these lines, and you will feel the same warmth, the same certainty, the same truth that surrounds you now. Remember this, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Everything in your life is aligning in divine timing, sacred rhythm, and perfect order. You are stepping into a chapter that will restore what was lost, redeem what was broken, and elevate what was hidden within you. Trust what is unfolding. Trust who is guiding you. Trust the love that has never abandoned you for a single moment. Now I stretch my hand toward you and seal this over your life. You are blessed, you are protected, and you are rising into the fullness of your destiny. It is done. It is established. It is secured. Walk forward, my beloved child, with the confidence of one who is held by heaven. Your new life begins now, and nothing can stop what has already been written in light.